What's good with all my people? Stay Swole Saturday, just getting back home from the gym. Productive workout. We stand on the move. We stand on the hustle. The grind don't stop, man. I wanted to do a video talking about the stock market, investing, and my little portfolio I like to call my to the moon portfolio. This is my portfolio of stocks that, are more speculative, but they got the potential to go crazy in the future, and I looked at my portfolio lately for these stocks, man, some of them been booming, I'm going to put a screenshot up, of the top 5 holdings that I got in this portfolio. One of them is up over 100%. I'm going to go through the stocks that I've been buying in this portfolio, and before I start the video, man, I got to put this disclaimer out there, man. This is not financial advice. It's not a get rich quick scheme, investing in the stock market. It's not like the casino. You go, you put a little bit of money down and then you win big the next day. It's none of that, man. It's consistency, discipline, and, playing the long game. That's all I've been doing. I'm just showing y'all what I've been doing, what I've been buying in the stock market lately, So the first stock, right, is called RGTI, Rigetti, right? I'm up over, I'm up 122% on this stock. The current share price is $44 a share, I'm sorry. I bought it at, my average buy-in price is about $20. So it's, pretty much double. I've been buying shares of that since earlier this year. That's a quantum computing stock. I've been doing a lot of research in that field, quantum computing. I think that's going to be the next big thing after AI, artificial intelligence. It's still early in the game. I'm just been buying as much as I can. Every time I get paid, I get some money. All the money I make off this YouTube channel, I buy stocks and crypto with. So I just been, backing the truck up, man, trying to put as much money into it as possible because I know what you can do potentially if you get in a stock early enough. I did the same thing a couple years ago with Palantir, PLTR, right? It was about $17. I started researching it and I was like, man, I'm just gonna buy some. These days, if I find a stock that I like, man, somebody tells me something about it and I do my research and I like it, I just start buying it, especially if it's $20 and under, right? Boom. So Palantir, it was about $17. You look up today, I think it's about $180, So I was in kind of early. I kept most of my shares and I kept selling them all. Every time I get a certain point, I'm up 25%, 30%. I sell some and I let the rest ride. That's the goal. That's my strategy right there, So when I get up about 25% on a stock, right, boom, I sell enough to get my profit back. Boom, I let the rest ride. Now you playing with the house's money. Next stock I've been buying, QBTS. It's up about 60% in my portfolio. The share price right now is $33. I had an average buy-in price of $20. So what I mean when I say average buy-in, that's what the average of all the stocks that I have, the number of shares that I hold. So it was about an average, and it's up $33. So that shows you how much I'm up. I'm up 60% on that one. The next one, APLD. That one just had a big move on Friday, yesterday, right? Boom. I think it reported its earnings. It shot up about $10. Trump said something about terrorists in China. So the market was up early in the day. I'm at work looking at it, man. Then towards the end, I'm about to get off work. It just crashed out like a rocket out the sky. I was like, it just ran out of fuel. NASDAQ was down like 700 points or something. Everything just went down, but it's all good. It's not a loss until you sell your stock. Always remember that. Some people get in the stock market, they ask me questions about investing, and it's like, I'm scared to lose money. I'm scared. I understand that, man. Never invest money that you can't afford to lose. You know what I'm saying? All these stocks that I've been buying are pure speculative play. I did my research, right? Boom, I'm just going to hold them for long term, and I'm going to see what's happening. I've done it before. Like I said, I did it with the Palantir stock. I bought it 17. I still got some shares. They all the way up, almost $180, man. That's damn, I don't know the return. It got to be about, 500, almost probably 1,000% return on my investment. The next stock I've been buying, SoundHounds, SOUN is the ticker. I'm up about 28% on that one. You know, it kind of went up, kind of came back down. I still got a lot of shares in it. I'm playing the long game with that one. My average buy-in on that one was $13. It's like $17 a share right now. I got a few other ones. These ones are not up as much. Some of them are down, you know, but I'm still buying them. RZLV, BBAI, JOBY, Joby, and QUBT. You know, those are some other stocks that I've been buying as well. In my bigger portfolio, I got what? Let me see. This is my speculative portfolio. I got my main portfolio. I got my daughter's portfolio for college, so hers. Then I got my retirement account. So my big portfolio, I got all my big dog stocks, stuff like Nvidia, Google, Palantir. I got Shopify in there. What other stocks I got in that portfolio? Coinbase, CoreWeave, you know, all the big stocks, the big tech stocks, Amazon, you know, Microsoft. I keep all those in my other portfolio. This is just my pure play, shoot for the moon, try to get rich or die trying portfolio right here, man. All speculative stocks, smaller stocks, man. You know, you can do the same thing as well. You know, if I could do it, you could do it. I didn't have no silver spoon, no inheritance, bro. It's not like I'm rich. You know, I work a 9 to 5 like a lot of y'all. And, you know, I work a lot of overtime in my job. That money, any extra money I get from side hustles, this YouTube channel, working overtime, I just buy stocks. I put it in the stock market. I try to make a game out of it. You know what I'm saying? How many shares can I buy with this amount of money or when I get paid? That's the way I look at it right there. You know, so, you know, if you new to invest, I'm gonna give y'all some game right here. You know, the first thing I would tell you is to always educate yourself. See, I got started in the stock market. One of my math teachers, when I was in high school, 11th grade year, he got me started in the stock market, right? So I was the type, you know, to go to the library and get books, man. I was a bookworm growing up. So all these books, you know, some of them I read when I was a kid. Think and Grow Rich. This is one of my favorite ones. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. A lot of y'all probably seen this one before. Managing Your Money for Dummies. Dave Ramsey. I love Dave Ramsey, man. Total Money Makeover. My first book that I ever read on investing was called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. I read that back when I was 17 and I got an interest in the stock market. So, you know, I just didn't sit on the knowledge that I was obtaining. I acted on it, you know. So like I said, I had a math teacher. He invested stocks, you know, so we started talking one day and boom, he helped me set up my first account. You know, I had my account when it was called Share Builder. Today it's called E-Trade. That's where I buy my stocks on one of my portfolios, E-Trade. But back in the day when I was in high school, back in 2007, it was called Share Builder. So any OG investors, y'all probably remember Share Builder from 20 years ago. You had to pay $4.95 for a trade. So like I said, the first thing, always educate yourself. Don't just go into it throwing money blindly at investments, because a fool and his money are soon departed. If you don't do your homework, you don't have a strategy with how you know how much money you want to be up as far as your percent return before you sell, or if you just try to ride it up and then ride it all the way back down, you're not going to make money in the long run. You know, the goal is to buy low, sell high, take your profit, reinvest it, and keep making money. You want your money working, compounding for you. You know, this is the next thing. Don't look at it like it's gambling. A lot of people, they like to look at the stock market like it's gambling. I see all these other, you know, forums online like Wall Street Bets, Reddit, what's some other ones, man? You remember around the pandemic, you know, when GameStop blew up, shit like that. People was just throwing money blindly, man. And a lot of them people probably lost all their money. You know, for every one person you see that invested in GameStop, maybe they put 5,000-10,000 in it and made them a millionaire. It's probably thousands of other people that put money in it and they lost all their money. They didn't have the right strategy. They looked at it like it was a casino. It's not, you know, it's not like you're going to buy a scratch off lottery ticket. If you want to be successful, you want to get wealthy carefully, you know, over the long term, you know, most of us are not going to be overnight millionaires, man. Have a strategy. Don't treat it like it's a casino, man. This is the next thing, man. This is what you got to realize right here. you got to know that the stocks that you buy, they don't just keep going up, up. There's going to be down days. You got to have the stomach for it. You got to have the discipline and the patience to hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said yesterday, the stock market just crashed, so I looked at my portfolio. I was probably down, between all my accounts, probably $3,000-$4,000, but I don't look at it like it's a loss. It's not money that I need right now. It's not like that's my emergency fund, my life savings I'm playing in the stock market with. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't ever invest money that you can't afford to lose. So I just ride it out. I've been through plenty days when the market is all the way down. I remember the pandemic, the market crashed. If you were smart though, and you took the initiative and was still buying stock. I was buying stocks the whole pandemic. I remember in March 2020, the whole market crashed. You could have bought any stock in the stock market for damn near pennies on the dollar. But if you bought them and you held on right now today, you probably be up. You probably done double, quadrupled your money. It all comes back, man. You got to be patient. Play the long game. What goes down is going to come back up, man. This is the next thing. The easiest place to start investing, if you want to start investing right now, your retirement account. If you got a career, a job in your employer, they offer you a 401k, a retirement account, and especially if they offer a match. They match how much money you put in. So for instance, my retirement account at work, I'm with the federal government, so I got a TSP, right? So if I put 5% of my money in, they match me up to 5%. So that's an automatic instant 100% return on that 5% you put in. So you really investing 10%. That's the easiest place to start for most people, the average 9-to-5 worker, man. Put money in your retirement account. I put about 20% in my retirement account. This is on top of, all the stuff that I do on the side. I got outside accounts. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit, man. But like I say, retirement account, man. If you don't have that, you can get you an IRA, individual retirement account. You can set that up at a bank, a brokerage, man. That's your next best bet. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest place for you to start. This is the next thing. Strategy. You gotta always have a strategy. So my main strategy, like I said, I find a stock, I identify a stock, do my research on it. I'm looking at the financials. What's the competition like? How much money they're making? How long they've been in business? What's the market cap? And then after I do that and I like it, I start buying it. I start buying it in blocks. These days I'm able to invest more money than I was able to when, I was in my late teens, early 20s. These days I'm able to put more money into it. So I could buy a big block of the stock, right? Boom. I buy it at that price. My goal, like I said, I try to get to about 25% most of the time. Once I get to about 25%, then I start selling. I sell enough to get my profit back, and the rest of the stocks that I still got, right, I let them ride because they could keep going higher. Don't sell all your stocks. You especially, you win and the stock goes up on you, let some of it ride because it could go a lot higher. You just don't know. That's my strategy right there. I play the long game. I don't look at what's going on in the market. I don't panic. Like I say, the market go down, I'm happy because in my mind, I'm able to buy all the stocks that I like for cheaper. I put this analogy out in one of my other investing videos. Imagine, let's say you a sneakerhead. Imagine you going to Foot Locker and the newest pair of Jordans that you like, they're marked down 25%. They just came out though, but they're marked down 25%. You like iPhones or Apple Watches or AirPods. You a big Apple fan. Imagine you going in the store to get an upgrade, right? Boom. And they tell you that the newest iPhone out is marked down 25%. That's how you got to treat the stock market. As long as you did your homework on the stock, it's a good, company. They make a good product. You believe in them. If it goes down, keep buying it. Buy some more. That's what I do. I buy some more, man. When it's down, I'm like, damn, I hope it stay down till I get paid so I can dump some more money into it because I'm playing the long game. I know what the market, historically, what the market's going to do. It always comes comes back over the long term, man. You can look at history. History repeats itself, man. You go back at the stock market over the past 100 years, anytime it's dipped or it had a market crash, the market just went down and a lot of money was wiped out. If you held on and kept buying, it went right back up, man. You look at the chart, man. Do your research. I'm not just telling y'all this for my health, This is the next thing. This right here is really important to me. If you don't want to do the homework of, picking individual stocks, the best thing you could do is buy ETFs or mutual funds. That takes all of the guesswork out of you picking what stocks to buy. Me, I like to pick the stock. I like to take the time to do my research on particular stocks. My retirement account at work is basically a mutual fund ETF. So I'm pretty much investing in the whole stock market with my retirement account. But basically what an ETF is, exchange traded fund, or a mutual fund, you buy a share or a certain amount you put in and you basically buy the whole stock market. So you don't have to pick individual stocks. You buy one fund, right? And you own every stock. That's whatever's in that fund, So some good companies to look at if you want to go that route. Vanguard, Charles Schwab, what's some other ones? The QQQ, that's a good one. There's so many of them, man. Just go on Google, type in best ETFs or the best mutual funds, and you can start buying money like that, man. That's the easiest way. If you don't want to do, have the extra time of investing. I'm trying to figure out what stocks should I buy. Damn, it's like thousands of stocks. I'm like, I don't know. I'll just buy all of them. That's the easiest way. There's so many apps these days as well. If you want to invest, you could invest right now. If you got Cash App on your phone, they have investing on Cash App. I got a lot of money on my Cash App that I keep and I buy stocks with, and I got them on my Cash App. You got Robinhood, you got E-Trade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity. There's so many different ones, and all of them are free these days. Back when I was investing in high school, it used to be you had to pay $4.95 for every time that you bought a stock, you bought or you sold it. These days, most companies, they eliminated that, so it's like you don't have no excuse, man. Whatever money you got, I tell people Cash App or Robinhood for starters because you don't have to buy the whole share. You could buy partial shares. So, let's say a stock, maybe like Meta or, Facebook, it's about probably $700-800 a share. You like, damn, I want to buy some Meta, but certain brokerages, they don't allow you to buy fractional shares, meaning you got to buy the whole 800. A lot of people might not have 800, but if you got $25, $50, $100, you can start buying bits and pieces of it. You see what I'm saying? The Cash App, Robinhood, man, those are the best ones, I feel, if you want to go that route and buy partial shares. This is the last thing I'm going to leave y'all with. Stay patient, disciplined, and play the long game. Like I said, investing in the stock market, it's not like a get-rich-quick scheme. You see all these people online selling all these $1,000 courses guaranteeing you to make $500,000 in 30 days. You just getting them richer, man. You're making them richer. You're not helping yourself, man. All these courses, I've never bought none. If you want information, you don't have to pay $1,000 for a lot of the information. It's in these books. It's on YouTube. You can go find other YouTube video. I'm not the only person. I don't really even cover the stock market like that on my channel. I mainly talk about working out, motivational stuff, helping people get hired on into my field. I just happen to be knowledgeable on the stock market and investing. I've been doing it a long time. But there's other people, their channel is devoted to investing. That's all they talk about is investing. So, you can go watch them, go on Google, type in investing for beginners, how to get started in the stock market. And it's going to be so many videos, articles, magazines, whatever, that will pop up that you can read and study the game. All the knowledge these days is on Google and YouTube, bro. When I was coming up, I had to read books. The internet wasn't as popping as it is now. You got AI, going AI. Hey, Siri, how do I get started investing in the stock market? She'll break it all the way down for you. Chat GPT, it's there, man. I'm just trying to get more and more people interested in the stock market. Pique your curiosity, because if you came up anything like I did, my family was broke. We ain't have no money. Ain't nobody know nothing about no stock market, bro. It's like I say something about the stock market, they think I'm speaking Chinese. I had to take the initiative and teach myself all this stuff that I'm trying to provide y'all with, So I hope that I pique somebody's curiosity. You still on the fence. You know that you should be investing, but you haven't started. The best day to start was yesterday. The next best day is right now. That's the best time to start. Let's start right now, man. Like I said, you don't got to put a lot of money in the beginning. When I was, broke in college, high school, I can only put 25, 50, maybe $100 if I got some birthday money or college graduation money. I couldn't put a lot like I can today. Now that I'm in my career, I'm more stable, So whatever you can put in, something is better than nothing. Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't put all your life savings under your mattress in your apartment or in the house, man. Invest it. Don't put that money to sleep. Put it to work, man. You know what I'm saying? Always have you emergency fund. Always have you money for different, goals, things that you may have coming up, man. But majority of my money is invested in the stock market, crypto. I'm trying to run it up, man. I'm not want to be one of those people that works my entire life. I'm trying to retire as early as possible and go on to do other things. That's the goal right there. Let's get wealthy. Let's get wealthy carefully. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got that merchandise for sale. This one of my gym shirts, lifting hard, living large. I got all kind of hoodies and t-shirts for sale. Y'all got any input, thoughts, comments? You want to let me know what stocks you're buying? You got any other advice or tips for people, that I might not have said in the video? By all means, make sure y'all drop a comment. Let's help each other out, man. That's what I'm trying to do with these videos. Educate people, help people out, motivate them, inspire them, man. If I could do it, you could do it, man. You breathing the same air as me. Let's get motivated. Let's get well. Let's get to it, man. Time is of the essence. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated. Boom.